Yeah, the Premier League is back and I can't wait, man. 7 games left to play. 7. Now, I know it's been a rough couple of weeks, but look, man, forget about the Carabao Cup. Forget about the FA Cup. And I know we're doing well in the Champions League, but we could park that up aside for a second and focus on this Premier League, man. We've got Bournemouth at home at the Emirates next. It's going to be a tough game, but we need those 3 points, man. 3 points is a must. So I hope you guys are ready, man. Let's go. Hi there, guys. It's your boy Dashiki Dash, and welcome to a Dash of the Gunners. You already know, man. This is where I talk about all things Arsenal-related, hot topics, and trending stories. And the Premier League is back. Oh my goodness, man. Look, man, I love the other competitions. I love me an FA Cup. It was obviously in the Carabao Cup final. Unfortunately, we lost. We lost to the FA Cup as well. Obviously, come Champions League, beating Sporting Lisbon. Sporting CP. Hopefully, that's allowed us to build up our confidence and just get us back in a better mood. But there's something about the Premier League, man, especially because we're pushing for that Premier League title, a long-awaited title, 20 plus years. And being without it has been a strain, man. We've had a big, massive gap, man. International breaks, other domestic cups. But finally, this weekend, it's Arsenal versus Bournemouth. So this is going to be the preview video. I will sprinkle a few other bits and bobs in regards to injury updates, Arteta's future, and just generally just talking about how we're feeling going into this weekend's game. It's a 12:30 kickoff as well, an early one. I don't know. I'm not too sure. And also, I'm going to touch on the Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly because there's rumors in regards to, their future and stuff like that. But before I jump into this video, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz to help the video, to help the channel. And just as important, make sure that you press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on my show. Because if you don't miss out on my show, then you're able to do all that I've just asked you to do. Anyways, this is the Arsenal versus Bournemouth preview. And Arteta's obviously been in the hot seat. All questions being fired at him in regards to how Arsenal are preparing or if they're prepared for this weekend's game. And it started off with the injury updates. Now, we've all been waiting to see whether or not, who's available and who's not available. Well, he was asked straight away in regards to the likes of Odegaard, Calafiori, Saka, Nketiah, and Timber, Eze. And he was, quite coy. You know how Arteta is, man. He's always trying to keep his cards close to his chest when it comes to injuries. Very cryptic. He's just saying that, some changes could come about come the game against Bournemouth over the weekend. But one player that he did say in particular that was available, and he was categorically informed us about this, and that is Eberechi Eze. Yes, Eberechi Eze is back. And if you didn't see any footages of him, obviously got out there in training, full training with the team. He's back. The niggling lower leg pain that he had that kept him out of the Carabao Cup final, which was unfortunate for us because he had been picking up his form, man. Scoring goals, really dictating and finding those intricate passes, creating those magical moments. And then when we needed that type of player come the final, it was devastating for us as fans, devastating for him as well. You could see him on the bench, had his hand on his cheek like that, no smiling, nothing. And obviously we lost that game, and he's been missing ever since. He missed out on the Southampton game as well. At the time where it was announced that he was injured, I was thinking, oh my goodness, because it was announced that he'd be out for 4 to 6 weeks. I was thinking, come on, man. What's going on with all these injuries? Yeah, I'm tired. But when you actually calculated the time frame, obviously, including the fact that we had the international break that many people didn't care about, actually, I didn't mind the fact that I was watching Congo versus Jamaica. Congo qualified for the World Cup. Shout out to Congo. But you know, the international break at this crucial time with 7 games to go until the ending of the season, and we're playing international games. But the blessing in disguise was that was enough time for Eze to be able to work on his fitness, working very hard. Arteta actually turned around and mentioned that, you know what, he didn't actually realize that he was going full beast mode in regards to his recovery, working very, very hard with the medical team to the point where he's now available for the Bournemouth game, which is a blessing in regards to time, because one in, one out business at Arsenal when it comes to that injury list. One in, one out. Now that we're seeing that Odegaard is injured, again, I don't know about this guy, man. I'm definitely going to do a separate video in regards to Odegaard, because I just want to know what is going on with him in regards to the injuries, in regards to just him, you know, in terms of a player. But anyway, I digress. Eze's back. Odegaard is injured. Now, the players, like I said, the players we don't know. I feel like these players are not going to make it this weekend. Odegaard, Calafiori, Saka, Hincapié, Timber. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, the likes of your Sakas, Timber, you know, they could be made available. All of them, to be fair, but I doubt it. I know that Arteta's trying to make us feel good. Maybe one or two might be able to make it on the bench, but yeah, I doubt it. I reckon those are going to miss out for this weekend. But in regards to the injury update and the person that's returning, Eze, that's guaranteed. He is going to be available for this weekend. Moving on to the game in itself, it's a 12:30 kickoff. Arsenal versus Bournemouth. This is the return fixture. It was a bit of a nervy touch and go first fixture at away. I remember Gabriel Magalhaes obviously making a mistake. We conceded, but he atoned for that very quickly, scoring a goal, and then Declan Rice as well with some goals. You know, we managed to come away with a win in that game. So they're also going to be feeling like, yo, man, we need to get our revenge. They're playing well, very, very well. Areola's got them playing well. I believe they're 11 games unbeaten run currently, which is, you know, it's a very good record in the Premier League. So right about now, where there's a lot of questions in terms of our performance domestically, in terms of the cup games, we've lost 2 on the bounce back-to-back. I think that's the first time we've lost 2 back-to-back games. We did win in the Champions League. So like I said earlier on, in terms of giving us that boost, I'm hoping now that we can go up against Bournemouth and just put everything aside and know we need to win this game by any means necessary. A lot of people questioning performances. Yes, I get it. We want to be playing well. We want to be blitzing teams, but I feel like at this point in the season, with 7 games to go, with a lot of teams fighting for something, or just in general, just, you know, making strides in terms of like their performances. You know, a lot of teams and players are reaching their peak performances right now. It's going to be hard. So we're going to come across games where we're not playing at our best, but we need to find our way. 7 games to go. We play before Man City as well, guys. Yeah, we play against Man City as well. So not only do we need to get these 3 points, we need to widen the gap, and we also need to apply pressure on Man City as well. I feel like it's been a while since we played first. You know what I mean? So now it's for us to put that pressure on, play first, and then see what Man City does against Chelsea away, which is going to be, it's not going to be an easy game. Many people turn around have been saying to me, Dash, man, City are not the same City as previous seasons. Listen, I still believe City have got the quality to be able to navigate through these games, through these 7 games, to be able to get, you know, maximum points in majority of the games. So as long as we do our business, we don't really need to worry too much about City, because we have the advantage in regards to points. So regardless if we win and they win, we're still ahead. And then we got to face them the following week. You know what I mean? So it's very important for us to win this game. Yeah, very, very important. So I'm looking forward to it. I won't give you my predictions and all of that stuff because you know me, when it comes to the score lines, I don't predict. But all I just, I'm putting out there to us fans alike, man, be positive, push the team. For those that are going to the match, make sure that you're there cheering, top of your lungs. I know it's an early kickoff, 12:30, so some of you will probably just, getting out of bed and then rocking up to the stadium. Listen, make sure that you're out there in full voices and making sure that you're supporting the team, man, because we need to win this game. Other things that were asked during Arteta's press conference was the question about his future, his own future. So, once again, it's about creating a positive vibe. So talks about Arteta's future. It has been met with mixed reviews. Ultimately, there's been talk. There's done been talk in regards to Arteta's future. Whether if he doesn't win the Premier League, everybody's going to be like Arteta out. But it's incredible to hear that more people. Well, some people are saying that even if he wins the Premier League, they want to see him gone. I personally don't agree with that. I feel like, man, if he wins the Premier League, man, the first manager in 20 odd years to win the Premier League, goodness me, man. Give him a break, man. How can you want him gone? But yeah, it talks about his future, whether or not he's going to be signing a new extension. And he was like, look, that's not really been spoke of, which I feel like is a bit of a lie. I reckon that they've already hashed out things. And then it would just be a case where finding the right time, especially if you win the Premier League, after that, that's the perfect time, innit? But in terms of announcing things now, it wasn't going to be anything that he was going to say. But what he did say was, because he was questioned, like, you've done so much at Arsenal, your credentials are high. Many other teams across Europe and the world would want your services for sure. Would it be a case that you'd be on entertaining that? And he was just like, look, man, he is completely happy at Arsenal. And that was wonderful to hear. Like, he's completely happy at Arsenal. His family are settled and they're happy in London at Arsenal. And it's nothing that he is considering the fact of leaving or wanting to leave. And he wants to stay. So that's the message to the fans, to those that are doubting or the ones that want him out. He's already said, categorically, he wants to stay. So in terms of anything that he will be offered, 100% know that he will sign it and he will continue on as Arsenal manager, which is good news, man. It's good news. You want that, that consistency in terms of like the guys that are in charge and, your manager and stuff. We don't want this chopping and changing business. But, we are in a results business. And at this point in time right now, for Arteta, it's all about winning trophies, winning major trophies at that, and winning this Premier League. So it starts with winning this Premier League. And anything after that, in regards to the Champions League and stuff, we shall see. We shall see. But Premier League first and foremost. So let's see what happens with that. But it was good to hear in regards to the positive news in regards to Arteta and wanting to stay, and he's happy and all that kind of stuff. Lastly, I will just touch on, because it has been circulating in regards to our Haylen boys, Ethan Nwaneri and Miles Lewis-Skelly. There's talks and rumours in regards to their future. Ethan Nwaneri's out there on loan at Marseille, and I believe, personally, I reckon it was the best move for him. I know that we're kind of lacking in that position. It would have been, with Odegaard injured and the likes of Eze injuries and stuff like that, you would have seen maybe Ethan Nwaneri playing that 10 role. But in terms of just like his minutes, the time that he's needed, obviously Arsenal are feeling like this guy is on the cusp of being not just a bit part player, but somebody that can play regularly, somebody that can really push these senior players. So going out on loan was a fantastic move. Now, I know that certain people are saying, because De Zerbi left, it's kind of ruined his loan. Nah, man, this is all part of his education. When you're playing senior team and when you're playing in teams where there's a reliance on you, or the things are not going your way, but you still have to go out there and still perform, you have to show what you're about. You know what I mean? If you want to be a big boy, you want to be a man about town, then you have to be able to deal with these situations. And he's been doing quite decent at this, scoring a couple of goals or so, some assists, integrating well, doing well, performing. And this is all going to be beneficial for us when he comes back next season. The likes of Miles Lewis-Skelly, I know that he hasn't got a loan move. He hasn't really been getting the minutes. But I feel like it's still all part of his education. I feel like he wasn't really meant to be getting the minutes that he got last season anyway. So more time now, it's more like looking at the other senior players, seeing how to play that role that Arteta is asking of him by being like an inverted, left back and going into midfield. And is he going to be a left back or is he going to be like a deep line midfield player? All of these things, he's still in his education phase. So I know a lot of people are like, oh, he should be playing. Oh, they're wasting him away. All of that. Chill. He's only like 18, 19. There's still plenty of time. You know what I mean? He might even get a loan move next season. You know what I mean? But for me personally, do I want to see these players go? No, I don't. I'm really invested in their development and I want to see how these players develop. But we also need to understand the realities of football, especially as well. They are Haaland boys, homegrown talents, and we know what that means. It's obviously, pure profit in regards to selling them. And if that is the case, it's about then investing that piece into the squad to further improve it. But we don't know. I personally don't believe that this is going to happen. I know that there's a lot of teams that are clambering around and, the likes of Man United are interested in Miles Lewis-Skelly and all these kind of things. But I don't feel like the sources out there are reliable enough sources to really be like, oh, Arsenal are really looking to sell these players on. It's all rumours at the moment. Until we know more, until then, we'll know more in it. But for me personally, I wouldn't want to see them leave. But if they were sold, I understand the nature of the beast, the nature of the game. It is what it is. But it's still stuff to keep your eyes and ears closely close to the story that's being circulating out there. So we'll see what happens in the future. But yeah, like I said, Bournemouth, we've got them at home next. Must-win game. So let's see how that pans out. And fingers crossed, man. I'm feeling a bit anxious. I can't lie. Because the more I'm thinking about the game, I'm just thinking, oh, man. They're a tough team, man. They're no pushover. So we need the 3 points. It's so important, man. 7 games left. You know what I mean? We just got to do our job. 7 games left to go to the Premier League. And yeah, man, we need to be just fighting on all fronts regarding that. But anyway, until the next time here on A Dash of Sports, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, comment, subscribe, do all that jazz, and make sure that you press the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any of my shows. And like I said, until the next time here on A Dash of the Gunners, peace.